Everybody wants to be a pro until it's time to train like one. They see the highlights, the explosive speed, the winning goal, the roar of the crowd. But what they don't see is the truth, the cold truth. That greatness isn't created on match day. It's forged in the silence, in the sweat, in the grind that no one ever claps for. You want to train like a pro? Then you better be ready to suffer like one. Because training at that level has nothing to do with how flashy your workout looks on social media. It has nothing to do with the brand of your shoes, the gym you go to, or how many reps you post online. It's about how far you're willing to push when no one is watching. It's about the sacrifices you make when the world is asleep, when the lights are off, and when your body is begging for rest but your dreams demand more. The truth is, a pro doesn't rise by talent alone. Talent is the spark, but training is the fuel. And without fuel, even the brightest spark dies out. A pro trains with obsession, with purpose, with zero room for excuses. The difference between average and elite, it's not genetics. It's how they train when the excitement is gone, when motivation fades, when every rep burns and every breath hurts. That's where pros are born, in the deep end of discomfort. Because here's what most won't tell you: the grind doesn't care about your mood. It doesn't wait for the perfect playlist, or the right weather, or the perfect headspace. The grind shows up every single day. You have to show up too. Tired, show up. Sore, show up. Behind, show up. Because that's the standard. That's the bar. Pros don't miss the work. Because they know the moment you start skipping the basics, you start losing the edge. You start giving space to someone out there who wants it more. Someone who's hungry. Someone who's willing to hurt for it. And in this world, it's not always the most talented that rise. It's the most prepared, the most relentless. And let's be clear, it's not about perfection. It's about precision, about discipline, about showing up, even when your legs are heavy and your heart's not in it. Pros train on the bad days harder than most train on their good days. That's the difference. Because every rep you skip, every hour you waste, every corner you cut, that's a seed of regret. But every rep you push through, every drill you attack, every detail you master, that's a brick in your legacy. There's a cost to training like a pro. It's paid in time, sweat, pain, and relentless focus. But if you're willing to pay it, if you're willing to suffer a little more, push a little deeper, rise a little earlier, you'll unlock a level that most only dream about. The question is, are you ready to stop training for attention and start training for greatness? Because pros aren't made in the spotlight. They're made when no one's watching. It's not just about how hard you train. It's about how smart and relentless you stay. Anyone can go all out for a day. Anyone can sweat, push, and grind when they're fired up. But training like a pro isn't a one-day effort. It's not a highlight reel or a single intense session. It's a system. It's a lifestyle. It's a calculated obsession with progress. And it's never random. Because hard work without purpose can be wasted effort. You can run the extra miles, lift the heaviest weights, exhaust yourself every session. But if you're not learning, adapting, and refining, you're just spinning your wheels. That's what separates the amateurs from the elite. The elite don't just go hard, they go smart. They study their body. They listen to their feedback. They refine their technique. They understand when to push and when to recover. They train with intention, not ego. Smart training is about knowing your goal and designing every rep to serve that goal. It's about quality, not just quantity. It's about mastering the fundamentals instead of chasing fads. It's knowing that one perfect rep is more valuable than 10 sloppy ones. That rest isn't weakness, it's part of the plan. That nutrition isn't a side note, it's a weapon. Every decision matters. Every detail adds up. And the ones who truly rise are the ones who think like that, who approach training like strategy, not just sweat. But that's only half the equation. The other half? Relentlessness. Because even smart plans mean nothing without grit, without consistency, without the fire to show up on the days when everything in you says stay down. Relentlessness is the force that keeps you moving when results are slow, when you're sore, when progress stalls. It's the decision to keep going when the excuses start sounding reasonable. It's the refusal to break, no matter how heavy life feels. Relentlessness is what builds the edge. It's waking up early, not because someone told you to, but because your vision demands it. It's hitting your routine even when your mind tries to bargain its way out of it. It's not glamorous, it's gritty. It's ugly, it's quiet. But it's the reason why pros keep winning long after others burn out. And here's the truth. The combination of smart and relentless is lethal. One without the other will only take you halfway. You can be smart, but lazy, and get nowhere. Or you can be relentless, but clueless, and end up broken. But when you bring both together, that's when you dominate. That's when you train efficiently, recover wisely, grow faster, and perform at a level that others can't touch. It's not about how much you do. It's about how consistently you do it, how deliberately you do it, and how focused you stay when nobody's pushing you, when it's just you, your hunger, and the standard you hold yourself to. The world is full of people who go hard once and call it work. But those who rise, those who break limits, they don't just go hard, they go smart, they go again. And again, and again. So don't just train to impress, train to improve. Don't just push hard, push with purpose. Don't just show intensity, show intelligence. Be relentless in your focus. Be calculated in your grind. That's how pros are built. Not by one great session, but by millions of smart, relentless ones. The real grind starts when the cameras turn off. That's the part most people never see. The part where the noise dies down, the lights fade, and there's no crowd, no applause, no recognition, just you. And the standard you promised yourself you'd never compromise. Because anyone can perform when the world is watching. Anyone can show intensity when it's trending, when it's cool, when they're being praised for it. But the truth lives in what happens after the attention disappears. When the likes stop, when nobody's filming, when no one's checking in to see if you still care. That's where the real work begins. That's where champions are made. The grind isn't a performance, it's not entertainment, it's not curated for content. It's brutal, repetitive, quiet, and painfully consistent. It's the 6 a.m. workouts when your body aches. It's the hours spent reviewing mistakes while others celebrate. It's the nutrition plan you follow when nobody's keeping track. It's the drills, the isolation, the 1000th rep with no recognition. Only the belief that it's leading somewhere great. People fall in love with the outcome. They fall in love with the trophies, the records, the medals. But the outcome is only the echo of the grind. And if you're only in love with the result, you'll never survive the process. Because the process doesn't flatter you. It tests you. It strips you down. It demands everything and gives nothing back unless you earn it day by day. When the cameras are off, there's no faking it. There's no pretending to be hungry. You either are or you're not. You either stick to your standard or you sleep. And it's in those moments that your future is being shaped silently long before anyone sees it. The pros know this. They don't chase praise. They chase growth. They don't need cameras to push them. They're pushed by their purpose. They understand that legacy isn't built in the spotlight. It's built in solitude. While others post, they prepare. While others rest, they refine. The real grind teaches you things no camera ever could. It teaches you patience, discipline, how to suffer and smile through it. How to embrace repetition and fall in love with boredom. Because boredom is where breakthroughs happen. It teaches you to rely on commitment, not excitement. To perform not for attention, but for progress. And when the spotlight finally returns, when the world finally notices, they'll think it was sudden. They'll think it was talent. They'll say you blew up overnight. But you'll know the truth. You'll know it was thousands of quiet mornings, thousands of lonely nights, a grind that never needed to be seen, only executed. This is what separates the almost from the elite. The ones who train only when they're seen, and the ones who train to be great no matter who's watching. You don't need a camera. You need a reason. You don't need an audience. You need an obsession. So let them forget you. Let them doubt you. Let them look away. That's fine. Because when the cameras are off, that's when the real work begins. That's when your habits are exposed. That's when your discipline is tested. That's when you choose who you're becoming. The grind isn't for show. It's for growth. And if you're doing it right, the world will see the result long after you've already built it in silence. So when the lights go off, keep going. That's where the difference is made. So here's the truth. Anyone can train when the crowd's watching, when the lights are on, when success feels close. But real training, pro-level training, begins when there's no audience, no pressure, no recognition. Just raw focus, just commitment, just hunger. Because showing up isn't enough. You've got to show up smart. You've got to show up relentless. This game isn't just about how hard you push, it's about how consistently and intelligently you evolve. It's about building habits so sharp they slice through excuses. It's about doing the work so well, so often, that excellence becomes your default setting. Anyone can burn bright for a moment. But pros, they stay lit long after the fire fades for everyone else. They train not for attention, but for precision. They master recovery like they master reps. They build systems, not just sweat. They stay in the shadows perfecting their craft, while others chase validation. And when no one is filming, when no one is clapping, when no one even notices, they don't break. They build. That's the separation. That's the standard. That's what makes the difference between average and elite. You don't need a spotlight to be great. You need discipline when it's dark. You don't need motivation. You need obsession. You don't need applause. You need standards. And when that's your foundation, you can't be shaken. So next time you train, ask yourself, am I here to impress or to improve? Am I working for the camera or for my character? Am I chasing comfort or chasing greatness? Because if you really want this, you train smart. You train relentless. And when the cameras turn off, you keep going. Louder in silence. Stronger in darkness. Because that's what pros do.